Every relationship in your life started with a little hello. So if you want to be successful, you have to do networking. And therefore, you have to master the art of small talking. Hello everyone, my name is Lumi, and before we start, I want to thank every single person that watched my previous video. If you still didn't, you can click here, or the link will be in the description box below. If you've ever been to a party, an event, or in a pub, then you most probably had to go through this terrible and terrifying experience like small talking, which is a polite conversation about subjects that are ordinary or unimportant, especially at social events. Let me in the comments which was your most weird small talking experience, because although this activity seems to be very easy and effortless, everything can go wrong pretty quickly. You know that it's a failed small talk if the conversation has an interview vibe, meaning that one person constantly asks a lot of questions and the other person just answers pretty quickly and a little bit nervously. On the other side, there are conversations that feel somehow forced and strange, and therefore there are more moments of awkward silence rather than talking. First, and actually the utmost important tip, is to rethink the concept of small talking. And mainly stop thinking that it's a useless forced conversation under some circumstances, and rather look at it as an opportunity to learn someone or something new. And yes, you can always learn something new, no matter if the conversation is in a bar or at a business event, or if your conversational partner is old or young, rich or poor, no matter what race, gender, and so on. You can always learn something that might be useful for you in the future. But even if you knew everything and you've learned really nothing, at least you practice your communication skills. What this change of perspective will give you is a genuine interest in people. So next time when you are at an event or at a party and you have to or want to have a small talk, you will not do this in a forced way, and you will not ask questions just to fill in the awkward silence. You will actually be interested why this person comes from and why this person is here, or what job he or she is doing and why. So the moment you're actually interested to get to know the person or to get to know his or her perspective, this is where a very interesting and memorable small talk, which is not a small talk anymore, happens. Second tip is about intentional transition. Let's say you've already mastered the first tip and you're at an event and you met a person that talks a lot about tax, taxation, taxability, and so on. And you're genuinely interested in that, but it's not really your field of expertise, and you're a little bit afraid that you'll have nothing to reply to. What I've experienced a lot of people doing, which actually killed the conversation, was waiting for the person to stop talking and then suddenly switching the topic to something absolutely irrelevant. Like the person talks about tax and you're like, oh, cool. By the way, I'm selling boats. What is even worse, when you see that the topic is not really relevant to you, so you simply interrupt the person and bring in your interest. By the way, I have a video on interruptions as well, and we discussed there if interruptions are generally good or bad, or maybe both. What you can do is wait till the person finishes his or her story and say, wow, that's interesting. By the way, I'm selling boats and this is my company. So since you have such a deep knowledge in taxes, what is your opinion on that? Or what do you think? What could I do in this situation? And here you have a common ground where you can really discuss. What you can also do is simply admit that you don't have so much expertise in this area. So at the end of what he or she said, you can say, oh, that sounds so interesting. I've actually never ever met a person that was so knowledgeable in the tax area. Why did you choose this job? Or is it your job or simply a passion? And the person that you are talking to will see that you have an interest in his or her hobbies or his or her career. And this is again a common ground and you have a discussion. The third tip works under formula compliment plus color. I realized that I was doing this many times in my life without knowing that this is actually a trick. And that means that you have to say something nice and then an assumption. For example, let's take again the person that speaks about taxes. You can say, oh, you seem very knowledgeable and you seem to have a lot of interest in the area of taxation. Do you happen to be a tax advisor? If you're right, the person will smile and say, yes, I'm really very passionate about this topic ever since I was 10 years old because of my grandfather and so on and so forth. But if you're not right, the person will say, no, but you're right. I'm very knowledgeable in taxation because when I was in school, I did a major in that. Now you have again two possibilities where to go. Either continue the topic of the career and ask the person, okay, if he or she's not a tax advisor, what he or she is working, or you can go with the topic of majoring in school and ask what school he or she went to, in what country, and again, gather some information and use it for your conversation. What I would definitely not do at this point is use any kind of stereotypes, no matter if you think they're funny or not. Because I personally was at an event, it was leadership startup female event, and there was a speaker, a girl, that was talking about her startup and her company, which was very technical, implying a lot of maths and physics. So in the networking part, we were discussing, and there was a guy that came to us or approached us, and I assume he thought it was funny, but he said, oh, your company is so tech-oriented. Do you happen to have Asians in your family? And that was weird. So I know we all have some stereotypes, but please don't use them in this kind of situations. The fourth tip is more playful, and I would use it either in a pub or a club or at an event where people are more relaxed and chill. And this means that, for example, you know that they all are students. You could ask for something, let's say, what are you studying? And then say, wait, let me guess. And here's where the little guessing game starts, because you can say, do you study economics? And then again, the person can say, yeah, you're right. Or you can say, no. And then you can say, okay, let me think again. And then there is this playful atmosphere between you. And then you can say, then you are studying law. And again, the person can say, yes, you're right. Or can say, no, but why do you think so? And I really highly recommend you to be prepared to back up your assumptions, because otherwise it is weird, stereotypical, and so on and so forth. So in this case, when you said, do you study law? And she said no, you can say, well, you said that you did your exchange semester in Brussels and you were multiple times at the European Parliament. So I assumed you are into law. And she can, or he can say, yeah, no, I don't study law, I study medicine, but you're right, I've been there. Then you can start again the conversation maybe about European Union or Brussels or traveling or exchange semesters. There's so many topics that just popped up out of a little game. And last but not least, the success of a small talk lays in open questions. When I think back at all my terrifying small talk experiences, I remember that it was a little bit weird because I would ask something that the person could say yes or no, or the other person would ask something that I would answer with a simple number. And this doesn't give you too much information, and if you're not a very good psychologist or a person that has exceptional communication skills, the conversation gets stuck there, and then there's awkward silence and you feel weird to just move to another person. So really, the success is in open questions, meaning that if you ask something, try to formulate it in a way that a person cannot just say yes, no, 1, 2. A simple trick for this purpose is to use more why questions, meaning why did you move? Why did you choose this topic? Why did you choose this job? Why are you at this event? Why are you here tonight? Don't use too many why questions because that can be a little bit suspicious, but all in all, if you have a good feeling, the person will elaborate more on his or her story. If it happens the other way around and the person asks you only closed questions because he or she didn't watch this video and is not a master in small talking, then try to answer not only with a yes or no, but again, elaborate your own answer, saying like, yes, I'm here because I was very interested in this topic because at the university I had this course and my professor was from Germany and so on. And again, elaborate more on your idea and maybe the other person will pick up some topics of his or her interest and you'll find a common ground again. If you want to master small talking and simply slay any conversation, you have to have a genuine curiosity and interest in what's going on. But if the field of interest of the other person doesn't really match yours, learn to make intentional, smooth transitions to your field of expertise or passion. You can also use the formula complement plus cold read, and if you want to make the atmosphere a little bit more playful and chill, you can use the guessing game. Also, don't forget that the secret of any talk, whether it's small or very serious, is open questions. And again, it comes back as a loop to your genuine curiosity about the person. Let me know in the comment section below which tip was new to you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone that struggles with small talking. If you want to see even more videos about communication, you can click here and here. You can subscribe here. Don't forget to click on the bell button to never miss any of my newest videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!